go. So this is Valkyria Chronicles.
Alright. Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Alexis, and I'm gonna run Valkyria Chronicles. Alright. So we'll count down 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so Valkyria Chronicles is a strategy RPG game with third-person shooting from the perspective, and we also have like a turn-based system as well, similar to Fire Emblem. Although this game is more like an XCOM sort of thing. So what's going to happen here is that Alexis is going to use a Watchman to defeat all the enemies in this chapter. It's actually really important that she does beat all these in a single turn, otherwise she won't get the A rank,
Yeah,
which is needed
I
for
will
experience.
run the EXP route because it's really tight in the early game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my favorite part of the tutorial though is that you shoot somewhere in that circle. It's like the game knows that some of the things you aim at can be a bit silly sometimes, even though
No.
you're reticle.
They actually didn't get them.
Oh, really?
Really bad. Hold on.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's really bad luck.
Yeah, that doesn't
I'm gonna
happen
have
a
to
lot.
just start over, actually. Sorry about that. There's not really a backup to you missing an action on that.
Yeah, that's extremely unlucky. I don't think. How rare is that? That seems really rare to miss that.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for any of them. For like the other two, we're gonna go really close. Usually for that one, we just do it because we're already pretty close. Alright, so we're gonna just go through this again. It won't be too much, don't worry.
But yeah, I think we just saw that in action where the, even though Alexis's reticle was dead center on the guy's head, it doesn't shoot directly straight ahead. So we got a taste of that. And
Yep.
for what's to come in the run.
Yeah, and this is on the PS4 version, which has a lot better accuracy than like the PC version. PC, like, they miss all the time. There we go. Oh yeah, this is a really funny one. They go and say that by crouching we'll be able to save Galia. Which is, I guess, overdoing. Alright, and yeah, so like we saw earlier, we're gonna go really close. Usually we would go up to the sandbags that are right in front of me, and then we would just shoot from a far distance, but we're not gonna do that in a marathon run.
Well, especially with not what happened earlier as well.
So yeah, for this one we're gonna go real close. If I were on PC, I would just do this in a real run, because you missed this person a lot, but this is good. Alright. Done prologue.
Yeah, I should also mention that the amount of badges Alexis has at the top of the amount of rounds she has per turn that each unit can take. And also, when each time you use the same unit over and over again, the action bar at the bottom, the orange action bar, you lose like a portion of it every time you move a character. Move a character in a single turn.
Yeah. But we're still gonna try to use the same unit every time anyway, because it's usually just the fastest way to do every map.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Alright, Chapter 1. So, the Empire's invaded, and we have a grenade now.
Yeah, so the game doesn't actually tell you that Alicia has grenades until the next chapter, but
My turn,
because
okay?
we already know that Alicia has grenades, we're gonna pick her.
Yep, so then we're gonna do the first grenade throw. Usually when we do
Enemy
these, we're
sighted.
not trying to kill the enemy, but in this case, they're actually gonna just happen
Enemy
to
unit
die.
spotted.
That'll make sense when we get to later maps. So you just move, like, flick the stick. You can consistently do things on any version of this game by just, like, flick the stick once, like, right or up. So I'll be doing that throughout the run. Alright, and then the tank arrived. And it's a real big tank, and we can't kill it right now. And this is also an enemy turn. We're going to be avoiding almost every single one of them in this category, but the early game has some that are just unavoidable.
Yeah, like this one, for example.
And then the next chapter, 2, is a bunch of them. And it's mostly because this tank. So the objective was to kill that leader, and after you do that, the objective comes to avoid the tank. And so I have to run just about getting over to the goal. So we just are gonna run around the tank. And that way they can't kill us. Because the tank would kill me very quickly.
But all in all, the early missions are pretty straightforward. Like, even the next mission is going to be pretty straightforward as well.
Yep, this game is, like, pretty good for speedrunning, because all the objectives in it are really simple, especially compared to, like, the other games in the series, which have multiple objectives that you have to get, or, like, multiple maps in the PSP games. But this one is capture the flag, as soon as we exit the tutorial, which is this mission. Alright, so now we're gonna go and wait for Welkin to get a tank. So while he does that, we're gonna go and kill some enemy leaders so that the enemy turns go a little faster.
Yeah, so enemy leaders have these badges that increase, make the enemy turn just last longer. So taking them out makes the enemy turn shorter by a couple of their rounds.
Yep. There's one more leader. This one's a little special. If I don't get it, we'll just leave them as is. We ended up getting it though.
Yeah, sometimes he just, like, I think one time he dodged me.
Yeah,
In a
that's
random way.
really bad on this. I've played this game a lot, but this is the earliest I've seen a dodge. I've never seen one in Prologue in 1. Alright, so yeah, this is gonna be how the enemy turns go. There's a tank, and they want to destroy the main gate. If the main gate's destroyed, we get a game over. Or if Alicia dies, we get a game over. But that's not going to happen, hopefully. Alright, so enemy turn ends as soon as that scout dies. Wow, they die pretty quickly. Except for a little lost time with the scout on the hill. If the first round from the Watchman hits them, you save 10 seconds because they won't shoot back. But if they do shoot back, if you don't hit them with the first bullet, they'll shoot back, and it's like 10 seconds. That doesn't apply to the second turn. If they would have lived there, it actually would have saved a little time. Because then they would have ran another action with the Watchman. Whereas instead they used the Shock Trooper. This has been a silly run so far. Poor Watchman died.
Oh no.
So yeah, that like loses a second or so. Because it doesn't lose too much because we don't have to watch the Watchmen shoot back. That's the first time I think in a marathon run I've seen them die. Anyway, now we have the tank.
Yeah, so it's Welkin's, I guess his father's tank, and Isara's biological father built it, so they kind of have an attachment through this tank. And yeah, the tank allows us to beat the other tank. You might have noticed also it uses 2 of the badges at the top, so it takes up more rounds per turn. So we need to be careful with our tank usage sometimes.
Almost shot Alicia. Alright, so actually if I miss this, I'm gonna have to safety save.
Here we go.
Alright, we're good. I had that happen in a practice run for this, where Vulcan missed a whole bunch.
Entering
But
combat.
yeah, that's the radiators in the back. It's pretty easy to see. They're the weak point, and we do a lot more damage. And we hit them. And one thing to know for the whole run is the tank is really, really inaccurate. And sadly, we have to use it for like a lot of missions. And we're going to be shooting things that are very far away.
Yeah, so Welkin is simultaneously the antagonist as well as the protagonist of this journey.
Yep. Alright, now we get to do the first menu. First, we're going to do our squad selection. There's a bit of RNG to this, but there's a few characters that we're really looking for. And hopefully I get them.
Yeah, so ideally what Alexis is looking for is male shock troopers, mainly because they shoot faster, Yoko and Field, and Marina or Catherine for snipers, and Ted or and Wavy or
Nancy.
and Nancy, yeah. Almost
Did we
forgot
get
her.
Dallas? Yay. Dallas isn't really important, she just has the fastest voice clips. And I like using her because they're like so fast. Alright, and we got everyone. Well, we didn't get Marina, but Catherine's pretty good too.
Yeah, Marina's the most ideal sniper, but yeah, Catherine's a really good backup.
Alright, next we're gonna go and level up. Leveling in this game is really cool because you level up a class, like, in not individual units. So if I level up, like, scouts, I'll level up all the scouts. And that's what the tutorial guy is saying now. But I haven't read the text in a while. So for this one, we're just getting defense boost, because it's a really good order. And we're going to use it a lot in the early game and late game. And then we're just going to level stuff around.
The defense boost is arguably the most important order that we do get in the game, mainly because of the amount of times we use it in the run, and also how strong it is in this game.
Yeah, in the sequel to this, they made it force you pay to kind of discourage usage of it.
Yeah, so orders also use command points, which takes up your whole turn. So yeah.
Alright.
So each order we have to use it pretty carefully. I don't think we do much in this R&D. Just get a tiny bit of upgrades.
Is like just kind of because we're here. We might as well.
And you have to go for it. The game forces you to go for it, so might as well upgrade something.
Alright, now we're all done the first R&D. We'll be back there in a little bit. Alright, so now that we're done the tutorial, we can deploy the units we got in squad selection, and then, more importantly, the game is going to turn mostly into capture the flag. So the goal is to basically avoid as much of the levels as we can, in order just to go and capture the base, because that's the win condition. So it's gonna make sense as soon as we get to this.
Yeah. And either we either kill the guy in the base or force him out of the base.
We're split into 2 teams, offensive and defensive. Squad 7, move out.
Alright, yep, and we get that cutscene for almost every mission, as long as Falcon's in the tank. If it's not in the tank, we'll get just no cutscene. It's a nice time to rest your hands. And now we're gonna use a shock trooper for the first time. Basically, they have less movement than scouts,
Roger that.
but they have a machine gun that does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and the reason why we want mainly male shock troopers is because they shoot faster. They don't shoot from the hip
Roger that.
like female shock troopers do.
Yeah.
I see an enemy.
Alright, so now we're gonna do a grenade throw and hopefully they get knocked down to the base. Alright, nice. And they got up pretty quickly. It can be random sometimes how fast that shock trooper gets up. And for this one, since we don't have a grenade, we're just gonna kill them. Alright, and then we're just gonna capture the base, and we don't have to do anything else actually. There's like a whole second front and there's some tanks, but we can avoid all that. Alright, and then the next chapter, I remember the story because it's funny. What we do is we put a bunch of weeds on our tank and it lets it travel underwater. And we do that to get a surprise attack.
Yeah, also this part of the game also introduces these extra episodes that we have to avoid clicking, otherwise we just go through extra load screens and all when it loads the cutscene.
And the worst part is, I think they don't even put the cursor in like the different spot if you watch them. Or maybe that's a New Game Plus thing.
It might be.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've accidentally watched one. And yeah, this mission, we are gonna use an
Take down the
engineer.
bridgehead as quickly
This
as
is the
possible.
most engineer
Squad
usage
7,
that
move out.
there will be. And it's kind of one of the reasons I should mention it now. We're playing in English because the voice clips, when you select a character, are faster in English. And that
Yeah,
was
for most characters.
really fast.
Yeah.
I think both of her
This is an
voice
order.
clips are under 30 frames.
Brace up
Yeah,
and
that's
get
really
ready to defend
fast.
yourself.
Right away.
And I also just love how
I found one.
like the walk cycle is. Alright, so first we're gonna make a shortcut with the grenade.
Multiple enemy tanks
The
sighted.
reason we're using engineers is they save like 20 seconds over scouts because they have 3 grenades.
I found one.
Yeah,
Enemy
you don't have to
spotted.
deploy the extra scout and yeah, and
Right away.
yeah, you have just more grenades in
I
general.
found one.
Yep. Alright, but they're also a little more frail, so we're gonna
found one.
heal here. And then I'm gonna safety save, because this can be scary. We have to clear this space, but the shock trooper this time is crouching. So if they were to dodge, it'd be hard to kill a shock trooper with an engineer.
Or even just get them out.
Yeah,
Leave it to me.
as long as they
I
don't
found one.
dodge, they'll be out.
This should do it.
Alright,
You're
we're
also
good.
under a lot of enemy fire as well from the
Yeah.
shock trooper and the tank and the scout, so
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
scary, so hopefully I get this. Nice. So,
Leave it to me.
it's faster animation-wise by like less than a second to switch your weapons while you're in like the movement mode than in aim mode, but it's scary because you get shot at when you're doing that. So if my HP was too low, I wouldn't have done that. But 50 something's okay. Alright, and that's chapter 4. We can only do that with this engineer because the shortcut. Now we're gonna go back to using scouts for missions. Because, especially this map, it's a really long walk.
Yeah, we need all the movement. So the biggest thing about scouts is they have like the most movement out of all the classes. So even when you do lose that extra action, extra movement per time you use them again and again, it won't affect them as much compared to other classes.
Yep. Oh, this one's gonna be real tight because it's one of the longest walks we do. And yeah, those units I deployed were what I mentioned earlier for leaders.
Now,
They give our extra CP, and we're gonna
the
need
enemy
all of the
supply
CP
base
we
is
can
through
get
these woods.
to finish this
Squad
map.
7, move out.
I think we like followed a pig, and they're like, we're gonna get a pig in our spawn after this, but we won't see that sadly. So first we're gonna
This is an
defense
order.
boost again because we're gonna be under fire
Brace up
by a
and get
bunch of
ready to
shot
defend
troopers.
yourself.
And then Alicia's gonna go on a really long journey,
My turn, okay?
and I don't want to step on that mine.
Yeah, you want to avoid the landmines.
Can't beat the
In
smell
this
of fresh
case.
soil.
And
They will be
the
useful
hitbox
later.
are so big.
Enemy
Like, I
sighted.
get super scared compared, especially because like
Enemy
VC2 hitboxes are so small, but like VC1 hitboxes are really, really big. So
Right,
it's not that-
yeah,
My turn, okay?
I haven't played Valkyria 2, but I think that makes sense. I think that's one thing they fixed in Valkyria 2 is the hitboxes of the mines.
Yeah, they're more
Enemy
like what
unit
you'd
spotted.
expect.
Try to approach
But that game also has like way more than this with landmines, sadly, and they're random too. So that's fine. But in this game, all the layouts are gonna be consistent. Like there's no
My turn,
RNG
okay?
in the layouts at least. There's a lot of RNG in
Enemy
other
unit
stuff.
spotted.
Speaking of randomness,
It's
you're
true.
gonna have to land all the shots on this
Oh yeah.
scout, right? Yeah.
Yep. And we're
Enemy
gonna
unit
save for
spotted.
that because this can be a little bit annoying.
Yeah, and so the biggest thing too is that we use our only grenade to break the boxes. So we really have to rely on Alicia's shots here. So
Moving out.
if you want to like save a turn,
Can't
you
beat the
have to
smell of
hit
fresh
all
soil.
the first 10 shots, which is really difficult from
Yeah.
the range. It
And
can happen.
We got 4 though,
But-
that was
yeah.
good. So now as
That's
long
not
as they
good.
don't dodge, we should at least make it past it.
Yeah.
My turn, okay? Enemy sighted. Now.
Alright, hopefully one more round. Then we have to deal with the rest of the enemies. So it's, as you can see, we only have
This
2
can't be
CP
good.
and there's 2 enemies.
Enemy sighted. Now.
Well, there's now 2 command points and 2 enemies.
Alright, and I'm gonna save again just in case, because even though we're to the side of the enemies, they can dodge. You can only not get a dodge if you're to the back. Side or front, they can still dodge.
Yeah.
And then they would
Another
just-
thing too
This can't be
is that Alicia has to
sighted.
hit these enemies on the head 4 times.
good.
If 2 shots miss on the head, you pretty much have to, yeah,
I'm impressed, but not
load up the
surprised.
save.
Yep.
I'll survive.
Alright, and then we're gonna do the last one. And one thing I guess I should point out is I tend to aim like a little to the right of the head, because the guns arc to the left, so it makes it a little more accurate on PS4 at least. That'll be important in some later missions. Alright, then we're gonna go to Chapter 6. This one's gonna be a long walk like the last one, but it's way more simple. And a lot more lenient on CP as well.
You-
Alright, we're gonna play Alicia again. And this is a desert map. And it's a really long desert. We gotta get all the way
The
to the
enemy's
end.
spread out through the desert region. Squad
And
7,
then they have
move
only
out.
one lone enemy in the base, so it's pretty cool what we could do. They're gonna talk about a bunch of trenches and all, but we don't have to deal with that. So we're gonna defense boost.
This is an order.
And then run in a really long
Brace
straight
up and
line.
get ready to defend yourself.
Although our HP can be scary during this. Another
My turn, okay?
PS4 thing is that units like shock troopers, they start shooting a
Enemy
little
sighted.
faster.
Enemy unit
So
spotted.
on PS4, so you take a little more
I'm sure
damage
it's
compared
hot,
to
but
other
try to stay
versions.
focused.
So we're gonna go and heal,
Enemy sighted.
and then I'm gonna heal in the next action as well. You can do this with either 1 or 0 heal, but it's very rare.
Yeah, I
My
think I've
turn,
only
okay?
really made it through with 1 heal before.
Yeah,
Enemy sighted.
I've only seen it once on PS4. I've seen it more on PC, but that's because you take way less.
Enemy unit spotted.
You don't take
My
less
gun
on
is gonna melt.
Switch on this area, interestingly. It's only with certain things, which is really weird though. Alright, so now we healed twice. HP should be good. There's a shock trooper, but
Moving
he
out.
should be able to knock them out with the grenade. So we're gonna run here, and yeah, we're at 49 HP if I didn't heal. So probably would have died.
Moving out.
Alright, hopefully that position works. If not, it's no big deal. They just have to go and shoot them. Alright, they're out. Then we're gonna go and capture the flag list.
My turn, okay?
Wow, they actually missed all the shots in the last action. Alright. Time for a lot longer of a mission. Chapter 7 is going to be the longest in the run, but like, first we have to do a really long menu as well.
Yeah, so Chapter 7 is also probably the most infamous mission in the game as well. It's, from what I've seen with casual playthroughs, people like stopping after or during this mission because it's pretty bad.
Yeah, definitely I can see why it discourages people, because it's a lot thrown at you at once compared to the last few missions.
And it's also a major difficulty spike as well out of nowhere.
Alright, so first we're gonna level up the 74833. Thankfully I always remember that, because otherwise this would be a little harder to do.
Yeah, I think another cool thing is just like this sort of leveling up route. You get less pop-ups, so you don't get the drill sergeant like yelling at you all the time,
Yeah.
and getting less of those. And also, we get orders at the same time as well, which also works out. It's just like it's just a really good routing of the level up, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a really nice, like, it even worked out well when it was changed for, like, 10.2, where it turned out to be just as convenient. Something I was worried about, but it actually worked out. Alright, time for R&D. This is gonna be the longest R&D trip. We usually don't do much in R&D, actually. I always remember this because it was explained to me. We get the Galleon 4 for one thing in Chapter 13. Other than that, we wouldn't need to get it. Alright, and then we
Yeah,
gotta
that makes sense. Yeah.
once. But we're gonna do snipers twice for something.
Oh yeah, that's my
Even though we
strat.
only use snipers once in the whole round.
Yeah. I usually upgrade them twice, but yeah, it's a me thing more so.
Alright, now we're just gonna get some upgrades for the tank. This is important because we need the mortar to do more damage.
And we also
then-
need more mortar shots as well, and
Yeah.
more. Oh yeah, we don't get it yet, but eventually we get more defense, which is important later on.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna raise the accuracy and then mortar.
And also, yeah, obviously
Charm.
increasing the accuracy is also obviously really helpful, considering how bad Welcome's accuracy is.
Yep. Alright, now we can start the mission. The upgrades will make sense when we get a little further in, but we're going to use a new unit type for this one called Lancers. And they're the anti-tank units, but they won't actually be attacking a tank for a while later in the mission. And it's
Yeah.
nice not all the Lancers, so that there's a chance this can go way better.
That tank is
Yeah,
our
the
target.
big thing
We
about
have to stop
this
it.
tank
Squad 7,
is
move
that
out.
the main bad guy of the game, not Welcome, but Maximilian, yeah, he's the main bad guy, and he's like riding this tank and just like destroying our bases. And the idea is to beat the tank before it drives over our bases.
I can do
Yep.
that.
So first we're gonna go and just clear the whole map, because we have to wait, and if a bunch of enemies are on the map, the enemy turns will be a lot longer. Also, I'm pretty sure that shock trooper would cause a lot of problems. So we're gonna go right here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the sniper does as well.
Nice.
Yeah, ideally you want to take out two
Your orders, sir?
two of them in each turn, so you can save up on command points for next turn. You don't want to waste
Roger
too
that.
many of them here, just to have enough for the turn that we finally move on the tank.
Yep. Because this mission's
Your
going
orders,
to
sir?
be clear all the enemies and then wait for turn 4.
I can do that.
Alright, nice. No dodges. Gonna be a little scary of that chocolate dodges, and we didn't get a victory animation.
Who are these guys?
That's pretty lucky.
Yeah, every time
Leave it to
a
our
unit
Yoko.
defeats an enemy, except for Watchmen, they get victory animation, but sometimes you're lucky enough to skip them.
Alright, and now we're just gonna hide our units, because the tank's eventually gonna run
Understood.
over these sandbags and base. And so now we're gonna be waiting to turn 4.
Yeah, and luckily Welcome is out of the way.
Aw, we got an order. So, yeah, Maximilian has a 50% thing to do an order every turn. They don't really affect the run of every single time, though.
Yeah, except for if he activates him on the final turn, then it might be a little bit of an issue because you have to deal with the guns. But otherwise, if he activates on any other turn, then it's not a big issue apart from wasting time.
Yep. Yeah, it can be a little scary on the final turn, so hopefully it doesn't happen. It's okay if it happens on the last turn in this one. Alright, so no order this turn. Now this is where they're going to explain that Maximilian doesn't want to capture any of the bases. He just wants to run them over. Oh yeah, this is going to explain the laws. You can shoot the laws to slow down the tank, but we're not going to have to do that in this run, thankfully. Because this is supposed to take 9 turns, but there's a way to do it in 4. Alright, nice, we only got 1 order.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not the best RNG, but you don't have to deal with the Maximilian shenanigans either. So, as you can see, there's 3 radios that have just popped open. And the idea is we have to take them, so in order to not go through the 9 turns, we have to take them all out at once. This is technically a sequence break because you're not meant to do it that way.
This is
You
an
have to
order.
just take them out one at a time. But
Yep.
yeah,
Destroying
taking them
the
all out
target is your
at
top
once is our
priority.
goal here.
Alright, I'm gonna safety save when we start all this, because if you mess up anything with this, there really isn't a backup. That goes for a lot of things in the run. So first we're gonna use a mortar,
Entering
and we're
combat.
gonna hit the end here, so we hit all
Gotta love
3.
nature. Fire!
And then we're gonna go and use our Lancers. The Lancers that we selected have this potential
this.
called Tank Slayer,
You jokers
and
still
we
alright?
need it to activate every single time before we shoot the radiators,
you tank!
so we do enough damage to get them all destroyed at once.
Yeah, and you can activate it when you're moving. But if we can't, if we don't have any more movement left, we can climb up and down
Just
the
watch
ladders in order to circumvent that.
Yep.
And whenever the Tank Slayer activates,
going, you
it really
tank!
depends on whether you're lucky or not. So
Yeah, like,
it has-
you get it when you like select unit or like 2 minutes.
yep. It could. This
Yeah.
chapter is also extremely
waiting
random in terms of how much time it takes.
Alright, so yeah, so see, I ran out.
How are the
Now I'm
enemies
gonna
numbered?
just hit the X button until the game decides to give me the potential. This may or may not take a long time.
Yeah, so just to explain potentials too, they either buff or debuff your unit. So there's positive potentials like Tank Slayers that increase the damage against tanks, for example. But there can also be like negative potentials, like Desert Allergy means that you're like less accurate in the desert. I can't remember exactly what it does, but it does have a negative effect on the character that has
I think it like
and each character has
ranges.
different potentials.
It's been a while since I've seen all the potentials. Alright. There we go. Now we have to do this 8 more times.
Yeah, there are a lot of potentials in the game. There's also unique potentials as well, so there's a lot to remember.
I'll take
And also
Yeah.
class-specific ones as well.
one order of tank
Thankfully in the
Bombay.
run we only need like a very small amount. And there aren't
Take
many
this.
negative ones that can kill us either. Alright, so Yoko's gonna go and try to hit the
I'll
other
take care
one.
of it.
Yeah, I think we avoid like pretty much all the negative ones, which is nice.
One order of tank Bombay. Here goes.
There's also
Yeah,
one
I
thing we
got
need to mention
I'll
about
take care of it.
Lancers is that they also have limited
One order
ammo
of tank Bombay.
Yeah.
because they use rockets. So, oh wow, that was
Here
quick.
goes.
And I'll save again, just in case, because my hands are a bit sweaty and this is really precise. And if I miss this, we'll have to do Tank Slayer stuff again.
Here we go.
Move right
Yeah,
to the corner. Alright, we good. Yeah, so that's the big thing. We destroyed all 3 of the radiators at once, and that's gonna play every cutscene at the same time, and it's gonna save a whole bunch of waiting. Because the second one of these cutscenes, they're gonna bring in reinforcements, and because we killed all the enemies earlier on turn 1, they have a whole bunch of CP. So if we were to get a turn 5, every single unit would use all their CP, and it's several minutes. Thankfully, we don't have to see that.
There's also one particular reinforcement we need to watch out for,
Save
and that's
me some
Sylvaria,
glory.
because she can shoot from wherever she likes.
Yeah, almost forgot about her. She doesn't
Take out a tank
appear
and
in
I'll
the
be a
state
hero.
rounds, but we'll hear her.
I'm not a
maybe.
coward.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If I have to go up the ladders, you can hear her.
Check me
Field's
out.
been nice.
Take out a tank and
Yeah,
I'll
so
be a
Field
hero.
has 2 Tank Slayer
Take
abilities,
this.
which is why we use him last. So he can like potentially like save a turn or 2 just
Save
like
me
taking
some
out this
glory.
tank.
Yep. Sadly, we didn't get it on the 3rd action. If you get it on the 3rd action, it's called anti-armor boost. It lets you skip having to refill with an engineer. Because that's another thing engineers can do. They can refill an ammunition.
Tank approaching.
And this will be the last engineer usage of the run, sadly.
Please proceed with caution.
My legs aren't listening to me. I'm sweeping around from behind them. Follow me.
He's taking his sweet time.
Yep.
Doesn't it
Alright,
have
Dale.
any weak spots?
You can do it. There we go. Alright, and I actually have to remember to move down.
Take out a tank
Because,
and I'll be a...
you can't have like 2 units go up there. So if I were to leave my
So that's
Lancer up there, the engineer would not be able to go up and refill.
I'll do my best.
And yeah, that's a negative potential lowered
Where is everybody?
defense, I think, but thankfully you don't get shot at this point. Alright, now we're back to hitting fast ones. This has been a really weird deal. It's been 3 of them have been instant, and then 1 of them has been, wow, every single one was instant but 1.
Take out a tank and I'll
That's
be
silly.
a hero. I'm not a coward.
Alright, anyway, that is chapter 7 in 4 turns. That's really convenient that it works out like that. The reason we don't upgrade our Lancer weapons to the max we can get is because if you do that, you would do too much damage. Then you wouldn't be able to do the sequence break. Anyway, Maximilian got away. And now we're gonna go into a forest.
Yeah, we're gonna go to do a stealth mission. So basically, Welcome and Alicia have been separated from the group, and we have to try and join back with them. So we have to go through the forest and make our way through there. Alicia has a sprained ankle throughout the mission, so her movement's going to be limited, and she moves a lot slowly as well. So, yeah, you have to kind of watch out for her. Also, Welcome suggests that she takes point, and it's just like, okay, dude, she has a sprained ankle.
Yeah, but we're gonna end up doing that
my turn,
anyway.
okay?
Yeah.
It's a little bit faster. I think I actually, because I had a no reset run one time where I accidentally selected Welkin first. I think it's like just a minute slower. But
Yeah, and I think it's mainly so that so there's these plants that can restore Alicia's movement back up, called Panicero plants, and we're gonna use only one of them.
yep, we're gonna do that right now. Or in a little bit, because Alicia needs to get to the
Moving
tree
out.
first. And then you get to stare at the wall, and that's gonna get her in position to see the plants. The plant's gonna end up being on the other side of the wall. But it works out.
Ready to go.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Welkin can just heal her from literally like too far from where a human can reach, but still can do that.
Alright, so I'm gonna stop right here. Alright, a little early. We're good. So yeah, this is the plant. And this is gonna be through the wall, it's gonna heal Alicia. And it's gonna restore her movement just enough for us to be able to do this in 4 turns. Alright, and hopefully I end the turn in the right spots. Because sometimes this can get really bad.
Yeah, if Welkin walks too far forward, that the enemies may not be in the right position, and that's a really bad thing.
Alright, we're good. As long as the top unit shuffles twice. That's like the only cue I have for this to be fine. But yeah, anyway, when enemy turns shuffle, they're slower on PS4. It's like the big thing compared to PC. Which is actually super fast for shuffling.
Here we go.
Yeah, we believed for the longest
Gotta
time that
love
PC
nature.
was the fastest version until we timed the loads, and it turns out that for some reason the PS4 version just runs faster with loads.
Yeah. It's
So
really weird.
It's very weird, especially because even with an
Hostile
SSD,
sighted.
PC still doesn't run faster.
Yeah. Also, SSD doesn't affect PS4 either. I actually remember hearing about this. It doesn't on VC4. It doesn't do anything either on any of the versions.
I'm pretty sure it does, actually. I think one runner had issues with people
Ready to
running
go.
on.
Oh dang.
He only had hard drive,
Hostile
and then
sighted.
the other runners had SSD, and they had an advantage. So
Now.
I'm pretty sure it affects VC4, but not VC1.
Alright. That probably makes sense, because it's a lot newer.
Yes!
Anyway, yeah, I had a safety save, because, if that grenade would have either missed or they dodged, it would not be possible to continue the run.
Yeah,
turn,
that
okay?
yeah, that section there is actually really dangerous because
Can't beat the
there's an
smell of
enemy
fresh
ace
soil.
there, and the scout acts as the enemy ace's eyes. Yeah, we stepped on that mine on purpose.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, it doesn't kill Alicia, fortunately. It just like makes her move forward for extra movement, which is really funny.
Yep, and it's also like, so we don't have to wait on the cycle. Because that can be scary.
Yeah, because if the spotlight actually hits her, she's pretty much dead.
Isn't there something, there's something really weird with the searchlights. I think it's like, I think it would be a 10-1 thing, but there's sometimes where the searchlight sees you, but then it doesn't land in the spot where you stood. Probably
Yeah,
just finding it weird.
It's probably because the tank is huge, yeah. I guess we'll get there when we get there, but yeah.
Yep. Anyway, Alicia's almost dead, so, we're gonna have to hide in the, animal trail. The little grass over there, because, if I tried to do what I did with, Vulcan, I would die immediately. I mean, I do have defense down, but that doesn't matter. I'm at 29 HP. And I'm moving very slow. Alright, anyway, we're gonna get Alicia as close as she can, and we're gonna go and walk to the end next turn. Alright, so first is gonna be Welkin. We're gonna go and eat
Ready
the
to go.
searchlights, because, they're not gonna launch a
love
mortar
nature.
anyway. Because we're gonna win. And it'd be a little slower if we, waited for them.
My turn, okay?
Now it's Elisa's turn. I think it's like 30 seconds from selecting her. So many mortars. Oh yeah, we also like the plants. All the goals are really like generous. Like we're nowhere near the goal on the map, but it works. Alright. Now we're gonna get 8-2, because we actually didn't finish the chapter. This chapter has 2 missions. The first is we need to get reunited with the squad, and the second is a more normal back to capturing the flag. We actually did not capture a flag in over 20 minutes. This is very sad. We also didn't do a 1 turn in over 20 minutes, but we're gonna be back for a teeny bit.
Yeah, so the goal here is we need to get Welcome back in the A device and to take out the wall so that our scout can move through it and capture the flag.
Alright. Yep, so first is getting Welcome to the tank, because they can't just hit the
Ready to
fire
go.
button for some reason. They need Welcome to yell it.
Hostile sighted! Hostile sighted! Enemy sighted!
Well, apparently
Penetrating
Welcome
enemy
does the
lines.
aiming, according to some of the dialogue in the game.
Yep. So yeah, it's important
Here we go.
because aiming is hard. And yeah, we used the mine boost here, but not with the strat that we're gonna be doing.
Yeah,
This is
we're not
nice.
scout elites. There used to be a scout elite strat here,
Here we
but
go.
it's slower.
Yep. Alright, so back to the tank. And now we're gonna, this is, I don't know why, but I find this really funny. There's a random castle wall in the middle of the forest. And we're also gonna safety save, because we're gonna be shooting at the tank.
And it can also be like super finicky as well, just
Here we go.
with the scout movement afterwards.
Yep. Alright, so we're gonna here. Alright, there's one. Is that right? It takes 2 shots, and you can only shoot this with a
Entering
tank.
combat.
Alright, good.
Yeah,
If
I found
would've
that.
missed-
Fire.
Yeah, I found that a bit weird that it's only it can be taken down by the tank.
It can also be run over by the tank.
Oh. Okay.
But that's not really useful, because, like, the other tank. Anyway, time for Power Scout RNG.
I'm on my way.
This may or may not take a few tries. Wavy
It's also-
and Nancy can do this.
Yeah, because that power scout ability. It's also really
I'll
important
see
that we
the
don't get
enemy
hit by any
exposed.
attack downs, otherwise this strat won't
I'll
work.
see the enemy exposed.
Yep. Wow, I got
Prepare
really
yourself.
lucky there, by the way. I got it the last second. So, that's very convenient,
Your orders,
actually. This can go on forever, potentially, if I never get that kill. Because without Power Scout, that's 5 headshots, or 4 headshots and 1 body shot. So basically really, really unlikely. Especially because we're pretty far away. But yeah, we didn't have to save and reload there, thankfully. Alright, time for chapter 9. This is another quick one. And it's unique because the enemy gets to go first. So we have
Yeah.
to watch a brief enemy phase.
There's also the enemy is the Federation, so they kidnapped the princess, and so the problem is the princess is in the vehicle, so we can't blow it up. So we need to find a non-explosive way
They
to
can't get to the
in
harbor.
order
We
to,
stop them here.
save the
Squad
princess,
7,
basically.
Move out.
Yep. So no lancers or tanks, although I did learn something funny. Enemy lancers don't count towards that. So if like an enemy lancer hits the APC, if you can like trick one to hit them, you'll just get the win and it won't kill the princess or anything apparently.
That's funny.
It's really silly. Sadly we don't get to do that on the run. Instead we're just gonna use a shock trooper with demolition boost. It's the anti-armor order. It's the big anti-armor order compared to damage boost, which is the less
This is an order.
anti-armor order.
Destroying the
I think
target
it's
is
like-
your top priority.
Is it 10% versus 30%? I think I'm
It's
really
something like that.
Roger
It's
that.
20%.
Rusty.
It's either 10 or
Yeah.
20% that
I
damage
see an
boost
enemy.
does.
Yeah, I'm always rusty on that. Let's save. Because this can be really scary, because the APC is one of the most dangerous units ever. Oh, and by the way, on PC it would have shot me, because this turns faster on PC. PS4 it's a little too slow. So we're gonna hide, because
Roger
it's
that.
scary. Stop here, and then we're gonna try to hit the radiator and hope it hits the kill. Alright, no kill, but that's okay, because this strat has 2 CP. So as long as I can get into aim mode before I die,
I can do that.
very nice, we should be good.
Yeah, 106
sometimes-
HP is definitely enough.
Yeah, sometimes they can do a lot of damage before they're really accurate. Thankfully they were nice that time, though. Alright, so we destroyed the APC and rescued the princess. Now we're gonna get a big award ceremony. This actually opens up the medals in the game, but you get special weapons from them, but sadly the cutscene, like the cutscene alone from entering is super long.
Yeah, and you have to go into what do you call it?
HQ.
HQ. Yeah, I was
Yeah, that's what it
thinking like
is.
that. But yeah, so a lot of menuing to even get
Let's
to it in the
see.
first place as well.
I think in VC4 it's been a while, but I think VC4 just gives you the special weapons.
I think so too. Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
you don't
haven't
have
played it in
to-
a while.
Yeah, I haven't played that game in like almost 4 years now.
Our top priority
It's been
is
a
to
while.
get to the rendezvous point.
But yeah, I think they do, which is
Squad 7,
nice
move
because you
out.
actually get to use the royal weapons. But sadly, in this game, royal weapons take forever to get. Anyway, this is the big tank one.
Yeah, so
Entering
we
combat.
just mainly use the tank here and go on a
Hostile
little
sighted.
adventure with their device.
Yep.
And we have to make sure that we shoot enemies down along the way. The base is completely safe though. We have everyone here just to increase our command point count in order to have longer turns.
Good.
Because we do need all the command points as
Entering
we possibly
combat.
can get, because
Yep.
the tank uses 2 of them as opposed to 1. So, yeah.
And like for these units, if they live, we just lose a little time. But there's gonna be stuff later that we need to go and
I'm
win.
impressed.
Alright, we're gonna try to do a
Entering
mortar
combat.
shot. So I'm gonna go near that lamppost because there's a shock trooper. Alright, we got them. And now we're just gonna end turn. We don't want to go into enemy fire for this. Excuse me. Alright, so turn 2 is a little more important because
Entering
what
combat.
was moving on that turn was a tank, and that's the bridge we have to go across, and we can't
Hostile sighted.
fit. So we're gonna have to destroy the enemy tank.
Make sure you
So
stay
first I'm gonna
calm.
try to shoot it from here.
Hostile sighted.
I also like our Captain Varrot, our commanding officer, is telling us to be careful of snipers when we're in the tank.
Yeah,
Entering combat.
tanks are
Hostile
resilient to just about everything. So I'm gonna move all the way
Gotta love
forward,
nature.
turn. I'm gonna try to get a double kill. Alright, we got it. That's
Fire!
just to save a little time. Now to finish the tank, it's gonna take 2 more rounds. So first,
Here we
move
go.
all the way forward.
Hostile sighted.
I'm gonna aim to the center just in case. And then I'm gonna move
Fire!
a teeny bit forward so I can get in position for the next turn. And then destroy
Entering
the tank.
combat.
If I did it correctly, the Lancer that's across the map will not see me.
Yeah, and that's ideal, just so the Lancer doesn't fire at you during the enemy turn.
Alright, we're good.
Because yeah, the only enemies that can really do damage to the tank are Lancers and other enemy tanks.
Yep,
Entering
tanks
combat.
can do a lot of damage. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much though. So we only should see that in turn 14 as well. You are really back, by the way.
The labor
That's
that's
really
a-
bad.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Now.
Lancer usually runs a little closer, but they decided not to.
Here we go.
It's okay. Yeah, because I have less HP, this will be more consistent. So we're gonna have to do a bit of a different setup for this. So first, there's another Lancer.
target silent.
I'm not gonna knock them out,
Enemy sighted.
just
Hostile
because
sighted.
they would lag, and I'm not gonna be able to do anything
Here we
anyway.
go.
Then we're gonna move. You hit the what's it called? The bumper. It lets you move the camera a little bit more.
Fire.
And then we're gonna get this Lancer next. Move back.
Entering combat.
Yeah, landing a shot on that tank there just ends up saving a turn.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, but not surprised.
Then it's important to do it in the order of the tank first, and then Lancer second. Because otherwise the tank that we just stopped see us, and then there's a bunch of tanks and Lancers over there, and they'll kill us. Or if we do somehow survive,
Here we go.
just take a long time.
Gotta love nature.
Alright, next we're gonna
Enemy
do the
sighted.
same thing we did, except this time we're gonna be moving forward.
How does it look out there?
Minor damage
So
sustained.
we're gonna do one
Hostile
shot,
sighted.
and
Now.
one more. And Lancers are standing there, but we can just run them over.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, so there's another thing we need to mention that
Now.
So we can lose HP in our treads, and losing all the HP on our treads is really bad because that means we cannot move the tank. And the only way we can get that restored is to have an engineer come
Yeah.
up.
It's
So-
Entering combat.
we
It shouldn't be an issue, but it's just a thing to point out.
Yep.
Here we go.
That's not an issue because
Yeah.
that would be really, really bad if that happened in 16. That could technically, if I messed up movement, happen, and it would be really bad. Alright, next we're gonna go and skip some cutscenes. This is another two-parter, and we need to do the HQ trip first. Just gonna level up.
Yeah. So this is when we get Scout Elites, and I think do we get any other elite units here, or is that
Yeah,
later
we
on?
do. We're gonna go,
Okay.
It's 1288.
Yeah.
Good thing you remembered. And yeah, this is what's nice. We're gonna get we talked about this earlier. We're gonna get 3 orders on the same drill sergeant. That skips a lot of stuff. Because he would tell us we get an order every time if we got it on separate ones. And we're doing this mostly just for saving time on animations, but the important thing is to get scouts, the 12, so they get caution and become elite scouts. That's
And
also
yeah, so we
important.
we get access to rifle grenades as well, which are actually useful as well.
Yep. Very, very useful. Oh, this is going to be all the stuff for mid-game, because the mid-game is really, really scout-focused. There's caution, so we're good.
Yeah, so caution is basically a better defense boost. Is what you need to know about it. It takes up 2 command points instead of 1, but it's just a more powerful defense boost, basically.
Yeah, so defense boost is already really powerful, and then we get an even better one, and we can use both of them at once, too.
Yeah, they stack as well.
Yeah, so it's super good. Especially because we haven't
Our job is
upgraded
to make sure
armor
that bomb gets
since
set.
7. Well,
Squad
we'll do it
7,
next
move
mission,
out.
but yeah. It's like a thing where, like, the upgrade we need for the last upgrade isn't available to 11, so there's not really a point in visiting until 11.
Moving out.
Alright,
Enemy unit
so
spotted.
we gotta go and destroy this
Enemy sighted.
armored train, but first we need to make
Get back here.
a path
Enemy.
for
Can't beat the smell of
Zaka
fresh soil.
to join the party.
Yeah,
So we're
and
gonna-
the first turn is basically setting up for
Yeah,
the second turn, which
My
is
turn,
where
okay?
most of the action is going to happen.
yep. So just gonna park Alicia here.
Enemy sighted.
Hopefully that's right, because if you get hit back, there's a tank across the map, and they hit us, and they were to hit us backwards. Sometimes there's that Lancer behind us that will hit you, and that can be really bad. But the tank's
Walking-
probably not gonna hit us. It's
Yeah.
pretty rare.
Yeah, or can hit you out of bounds.
Oh yeah. That, at that point, we just would go and have a backup save. Hopefully that doesn't happen though. I've never gotten me out of bounds before.
Yeah, I did, which was it completely threw me off. I was practicing.
Oh. Yeah, the funniest thing I've got is the colors loading differently in 10.1. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Anyway, yeah, it missed, and we also dodged. In addition to it missing, we dodged. See, no big deal. Yeah, if that would hit us in the head, by the way, we would have died.
Yeah,
That's-
if it was a body shot, we would survive though.
Yep. Alright, anyway, now we get to shoot
Entering combat.
a bridge from across the map.
Enemy sighted.
Yeah, so there's like 3 pixels where you can aim for this bridge with the tank.
Now.
So hopefully this lands. Otherwise, if it doesn't land after a while, then Alexis will have to resort to safety saving.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make one now, after the first try, then Hopefully we don't have to use that safety save. We
Entering
have 3
combat.
more. Alright, there we go.
Nice.
That could, potentially have went on for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my marathon PB is for tries. But
I
it
know
is
mine is like
usually-
8. So
Oh, that's really sad.
yeah.
I think one of my no resets I did before this was 6, but I think it's one of the highest I've seen. Anyway, now we're gonna use defense boost and caution. Because now they set a bomb and Alicia's gonna shoot it.
This is an order.
And we can go through the elevator, which is the reason why
Brace up
we need
and
to
get
shoot
ready
down the
to
bridge
defend
first
yourself.
before we move Alicia.
Yep. But the enemies for the... why do they activate the elevator?
This is an order.
It's the General Gregor who does that.
I
Advance with
don't know.
caution.
I
Stay
don't-
They're
sharp.
silly.
It's nice that he did it though, because
Moving out.
now we have a way
Yeah.
to get to the bomb.
Yeah.
Alright,
Feel
yeah.
anything moving
The more I
this
think
way.
about it, it makes
Enemy
little
sighted.
sense. But anyway, we're gonna go
Enemy
to
sighted.
the sorry. We're gonna
Enemy
go
unit
and
spotted.
move Alicia to
Enemy
the
sighted.
elevators that were activated. Well, this one we have to
Moving
activate
out.
ourselves. But the other one was
Enemy unit
activated by the
spotted.
enemy. So I can get it this turn, but we can't reach the bomb because the bomb is not
Holding up.
possible to target from a distance. Like even in other categories, we can't like snipe it. So we always have to walk. And there's a flag that says we have to go to that
Moving
spot, but we don't. We just have to go like here. Alright, we're good.
Please hit.
Alright, and now we get to watch the armor train fall.
Yeah, basically we get to see a scene from GoldenEye here where he thinks he's invincible and then he just like drops into the ocean.
Very long. I think this is the longest scene. That's after, I should say, rephrase that, the longest after a, operation completes. Because then there's also that dialogue. Anyways, that's chapter 10. On to the, scout portion of the run now. The other scout portion of the run. First, we gotta skip cutscenes. Alright, one more. And then we're gonna get HQ, and we're gonna do some... Well, we're getting armor, because damage is gonna be scary. And then we're just gonna do some, like, convenient stuff while we're here. That you don't have to do, because we have another HQ trip. I just like to do it on this trip for some reason.
So you don't really need to uniform upgrades for Alicia for this particular chapter. I was just thinking
Yeah.
you
Need-
might need them for.
I think 13 is also like you need them. And I guess 12 and 15. We need them for a lot actually. We don't need it after 15. I guess Maximilian maybe? In 18-2? I'm not sure. I've never done that with like super low armor. Anyway, we're gonna deploy Alicia. Now she's gonna take the beach. In like
Yeah.
a minute or two.
So
First-
Clear out
Yeah.
the Imperial shoreline defenses.
So the big thing that
Squad
this
7,
mission
move out!
introduces is the smoke bomb, but we won't be using it this mission. We don't really need it this mission. So we're just gonna have Alicia sneak past the guns that the smoke bomb is supposed to be used for.
Yep.
Moving out.
They're really scary, and they're also called, we're not gonna be able to show it, they're called invulnerable guns, because they're
Enemy
invulnerable.
sighted.
We took a little damage, but
Stay
that's
sharp if you
fine.
want to keep your head.
If that happens, you just heal.
Enemy
Yeah.
unit
And then the
spotted.
rest of my healing will happen when we end turn.
Yeah, you heal like Oh goodness, like 100 HP? No,
Yeah.
no, that's what the Ragnarok does. Okay, so
It's a little bit.
yeah.
Alright, we're gonna turn for movement because we can't get to the goal right now. And the enemy turn is instant, so it's no big deal. Anyway, we're gonna use the defense boost and caution combination again.
This is an
Yeah,
order.
because we're gonna be under a lot of enemy
Brace
fire,
up and get ready to defend
and it's
yourself.
gonna be something.
This is an order.
Yeah, even though we use 2
Advance with
letters,
caution.
we're
Stay
we
sharp.
take a lot more than last chapter. So let's go, Alicia.
Moving
We're
out.
also gonna heal twice,
Enemy
actually.
sighted. Enemy unit spotted.
And maybe even
Enemy
3
sighted.
times, depending
Enemy
on luck.
sighted. Enemy unit spotted. Enemy sighted.
I'm going in. Cover me.
Enemy sighted. Enemy sighted. Enemy sighted.
That was
Secure.
really a lot of damage. And yeah, there's 2 more of those turrets.
Yeah, sometimes you're able to escape without sustaining too much damage, but yeah, if you're under 100 HP, that's pretty
turn, okay?
scary.
Yeah. Alright, well, at least we're not gonna
Enemy
die
sighted.
at
I'm
the
taking
start
extra
now.
special care.
Because I got lucky and got first aid boost.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, first aid boost heals like 200, 300 HP.
Hostiles
And
approaching.
they barely did anything.
Enemy sighted.
That was
Sit tight.
an odd
Almost
set
there.
of luck. Anyway, we got a safety save because we're gonna be using the what's it called? Grenade
The
launcher.
rifle grenade.
Yeah, that thing. I know what it's called, I think. And then
Moving
we're gonna
out.
use that to knock this unit out. But if they were to dodge,
Please hit.
we wouldn't have a way to deal with them.
They can
Alright.
also spawn back into the base
Yeah.
if you get really unlucky as well.
And they unfortunately did.
Enemy sighted.
So we're gonna do a little bit of a backup. That's alright.
Yeah,
Can't beat the smell of
fortunately,
fresh soil.
you can do an attack boost strat.
This is an order.
Yeah, and we have to do that because we get attacked
Attack with
down.
everything you've got.
And you're gonna get attacked down because there's so many shock troopers.
Moving out.
I actually needed 5 for 5 for that. That was a little scary. Now we're just gonna do the same. Sadly, we usually kill this unit with friendly fire, but
Moving out.
since I already used the order, might as well just do this.
Yeah, it might be. It probably is faster that way. 'cause of- yeah. since you
Depends on
already
the
used
luck.
order.
My HP was really good though, so I wouldn't have been like in danger.
Yeah. But the friendly fire strat is just really funny.
Yeah, I think we do it once in VC2, but it's a lot harder to do in that game. It's way harder than this one. Anyway, chapter 12. This is gonna be another scout rushing mission. It's a straight shot. This one actually I feel like I should mention for A rank, it's just based on turns, and in this case, this is on the few that's a 1 turn for A rank. So it's like, they kind of expect you to do some of these really quick.
We're taking back our homies. Squad 7, move out.
Although I don't think EXP route matters at this point, but we're gonna get this in 1 turn.
Oh yeah, we're also back in the first couple of missions. We're back in our hometown brawl, so we're taking it back finally
This is an order.
from
Yep.
the Empire.
I think this is,
Brace up and get ready to defend yourself.
like, it's in at least supposed to be chapter 1 and 2's map.
Yeah.
Alright. I
This is an
remember.
order.
I would have remembered if we got to the hill.
Destroying the target is your top priority.
Anyway, we used defense boost and demo boost instead of caution,
Moving out.
just because it saves
Enemy sighted.
like
Enemy
an
unit
input.
spotted. Enemy unit spotted.
In this case, we're gonna take a lot of damage, but
Your
it's not a
current
big
position
deal.
is very
That unit's like
dangerous.
deceptively scary. The real thing is what just shot at us. You can't
Enemy
see it
sighted.
because I camera, but there's a super scary turret there.
Moving out.
And now we have to deal with this sniper. They're an ace, and if we
Enemy
shoot
unit spotted.
launch this grenade from the front, they're gonna dodge. So we gotta get behind them.
Now!
Yeah, and luckily snipers don't counter-fire you in this game. They do in Valkyria 4 though.
Yeah. And they're really scary. I think it's just the sound they
Okay.
make. It's kind of similar to the Imperial rifle sound. Anyway, if that enemy would have teleported, like in 11, we would have had done like a really complex backup where we have to run behind them and shoot them while shock troopers shooting at us. But thankfully they cooperated. Alright, time to go to the big open map. Chapter 13 is, I think, one of the biggest maps in the game. It's gonna have a bunch of trenches and tunnels, and we're gonna just head right to the goal.
And also, this is one of the maps where Welkin isn't in his tank, so we won't get an intro cutscene.
Yep. Right. It's like, Wait, yeah, it happens in both the 8 missions. I never really thought about it, but it does. But yeah, no Welkin, because he's scared of the rockets. I guess it's because he can't go into the trenches to avoid them.
Yeah, the rocket is like a carpet fire. You don't want to be in that.
I don't think, or maybe it's like, maybe my casual playthrough, I got hit by the rockets, but I don't actually know how much damage they do. I'm gonna assume they instantly kill you or something. But it's been so
Moving out.
long.
Enemy unit spotted!
Never faced
Alright,
numbers
we gotta
like
watch
this
my health a
before.
little bit. Alright, we're good. Just to make sure we have full HP for the next turn, because this one's gonna be a 2-turn. And we wouldn't have all the HP we can get for the next one.
Yeah, you're going wide
My
to
turn,
avoid getting
okay?
shot by the guns.
Alright,
Enemy
and yeah,
unit
this is
spotted.
what we needed to upgrade
Please.
our rifles for.
Yeah, because the shock troopers here are pretty beefy.
I'm impressed.
They're
but
trooper
not
elites now.
Alright, and then we're gonna end turn and make a safety save. This is the last time in the run they can dodge. There's no more enemies that can dodge if we get past this. But there's 2 shock troopers, so 2 chances to dodge.
Yeah, so what Alexis is gonna do here is she's gonna do a blind shot with a grenade into the base, and hopefully that sends both the shock troopers out of the base. And it's a pretty precise shot.
Moving out! Enemy unit spotted!
Alright, hopefully that's right. And hopefully I hit the button down.
Now!
It did something. Alright, they're out. You would
Enemy unit
think that I
spotted.
know how to tell.
Their numbers are...
But
It's a bit hard to tell because you can't
Yeah.
you can't see their bodies flying out. You can only tell by their health bars, and sometimes one of them doesn't go out, and one of them does go out. So it's a bit weird like that. It is a bit hard to tell, I think.
yeah. But we got it. Although we're not done with scary stuff here yet. Now we are.
Yeah,
'Cause
although I don't
technically-
think you sustained a lot of damage, so I think you should be fine.
Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna use
This
demo
is an order.
boost, because this is the beginning of destroying tanks with
Destroying the
rifles.
target is your top
This
priority.
is really convenient.
Yeah, it's also important that Alexis didn't kill any of the shock troopers there, because that base would have had like 1 extra unit in it,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just really important to
Please keep up formation as you
only have the
strengthen.
tank there.
Alright, hopefully I didn't clip in. Nice. One thing to know about radiators is if you're too close, you'll clip back around and it'll count as a body shot. And that would not be
Instead
nice.
of a radio shot, yeah. But yeah, since Alexis didn't kill anyone else, there's only the tank in the base. and yeah, operation's complete. So, and also, yeah, it depends on, I think because the enemy count on the map has reached the max amount, which is
Yeah.
why that is the case.
So yeah, because if I had to do the backup and kill a shock trooper, they would have not been at the max. So then the I think it says they call for reinforcements no matter what, but they don't come. Alright, and anyway, we're gonna do the last menu of the game. First, training. It's gonna be 11:15. Thankfully, I've when I used to run this game a long time ago, I always would have the old guide up. So I'd always look at the level ups. So it helped, remember? Alright, let's get the shock troopers we want to get to elite. So they can get a little more movement, actually, that's important, but mostly so they can get T-Mag 10. This will be their final weapon. And then the snipers, we're not really leveling them for much, except for them to give us an order that other units will use.
Yeah, we're gonna get the penetration order from the snipers, and that gives, that just makes us do more damage and go through defenses of enemies.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And it also, defense boost and caution, it stacks. It's really nice. Alright, time to get T-Mag 10. Alright, and now all done with HQs for them. Now time for chapter 13. So this time we're gonna just deploy a scout, but not gonna be Alicia. It's gonna be Wavy, because Alicia's a Valkyria, and she's slowly walking around the map. And you can spin the camera.
Yeah, so spoilers, if you haven't noticed, Alicia's become a Valkyria herself. So Valkyria are really powerful warriors, and they wield a lance and shield, and they just blast through enemies and all that. You don't actually get to control a Valkyria, Valkyria in Valkyria form until Valkyria Chronicles 3. So yeah, you can only just watch as this goes on. It's a good time for a break though.
Yeah, especially because we're gonna have to watch these twice. I also just realized that Silvaria showed up in 13.
Oh yeah, she does. You don't really care about her in 13 at all.
Alright, now we get to play. So this map, they want us to run and capture the flag so they can ambush us. Excuse me, but since we already know that they're gonna ambush us, we're just gonna get in position.
Yeah, so the ambush is basically these two really strong tanks.
Been waiting
And
here.
we just want to get, we want to get Largo behind the tank while we get the, while we move the scout on the way.
I'm on my way. I'll never betray
Yeah.
my people.
And so the scout has to go really far along. Basically, we're just gonna use all of our movements. And we're gonna get as close as we can to that red spot.
Yeah, you don't want the shock trooper spotting your scout, otherwise you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, because they will kill you very quickly. We got the enemy reinforcements. Sometimes you don't get that cutscene. Or I guess, animation.
Just a
I-
text box.
Yeah, that's a better way. It's not.
Yeah.
It's really insignificant, but I don't know why, but sometimes you can avoid it.
Under miner fire.
And yeah, this is the only time that a tank
Minor
gets shot
damage
at.
sustained.
But they're okay. They would die next turn, but actually, Lisa's gonna take care of that. It's the second one that she's first. Yes, it killed Tank Destroyer.
Yeah.
And no more camera. Alright. Now we gotta go and finish this turn. So first we gotta go move Largo once.
Been
So
waiting
he
here.
can get in position. And then now he's in position for his tank. And for Wavy, we're gonna use Demolition Boost and Penetration. That way that
This is
Wavy
an
can
order.
destroy his tank.
Destroying the target is your top priority. This is an order. Aim for where their protection is weakest.
Alright, so now we're gonna go and spawn the ambush
I'm on my
by
way.
capturing the base. This is also gonna deactivate Alicia's Valkyria mode. So he's gonna continually be in it until you do this. Oh yeah, another thing isn't really that important for the run, but a lose condition is as if you take more than 20 turns for, I think, almost all maps.
I think it's for every map actually.
Yeah, it's unlikely though that even casually, you probably just game over before then.
Actually, there's some exceptions, like 10 turns or chapter 4, yeah.
Alright.
But there's
so
few
now-
exceptions.
And yeah, there's a strat we can
I'll see
do
the enemy
where we
exposed.
can grenade our own units and they're launched off the cliff and it saves a few seconds. But it's not very safe in this category because we have less health and Power Scout boosts our
I'm on my
grenade
way.
power. And since we have
I
to
do
have a
hope this
Power
won't
Scout, we're very likely to get Power Scout and then you'll kill your units. That would be very bad.
Too bad we
Anyway.
don't have Nancy here for her really fun
Prepare
line
yourself.
here.
Yeah, no Nancy, sadly. Although, at least Wavy's better with voice
You'll
clips.
not harm
Nancy
my
has a
people.
really long one, so you can get
Yeah,
some.
that's true.
Now we're gonna shoot it 2 times in the radiator and we'll destroy it.
You'll not harm my people.
I didn't need
I do
free
hope
gum,
this
I actually
won't
knew that one. It lowers
Cordelia.
accuracy. So I guess kinda could have been the bad thing there. Alright, one more time.
Your orders, sir.
I got a
So
large
you may get lucky here with Largo and activate Tank Slayer and save a turn,
Been waiting here.
but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so if we get it on the next one, we gotta do this in 2 cycles.
You're done.
If not, we just have to shoot another time.
And also it's important not to get too close, otherwise you'll hit
Been
the body of
waiting
the
here.
tank, not the radiator.
Yeah. And like,
You're done.
Hadley, remember the backup was like, I'm pretty sure it won't happen, but I think the backup is you shoot with,
Just watch this.
Welcome.
Vulcan, yeah.
Yeah.
But don't
You're
worry,
done.
we don't have to do that. Done with 14. Now we get to use the final scout mission.
I usually get Tank Slayer on the last shot, which is really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, sadly doesn't do anything. Alright, Faldio. He doesn't appear in the run.
Yeah, we don't care about Bardio. But basically he's like Welkin's friend from university and He's the one that shot Alicia and activated her Valkyria powers because you had to be on the brink of death to activate your Valkyria powers for the first time or something like that. So,
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
yeah.
Anyway, 15 run. We're gonna use Alicia for the last time.
There are 3 switches total. Let's clear the way. Squad 7, move out.
Alright, so we're actually gonna use smoke rounds.
Yes, and this is actually just strat I discovered accidentally.
Here we go.
So, my only contribution to the run.
Yeah, it's really important because it's gonna save some time because before that shock trooper would sometimes move
My turn,
forward,
okay?
but with the position we did, they're never going to. And we also use smoke rounds so that shock trooper and that turret to the right of me
Stop them.
doesn't
Here
just
and
kill
now.
you, because that would kill me very
Enemy
quickly.
sighted.
Like,
Yeah, a
really
lot of
quickly.
enemies at this stage of the game do a lot of damage to you. So it's really important to, yeah, just get
Enemy sighted.
play it safe, I
Take down
guess.
the enemy in the middle.
Yep, and then we're gonna hide in the grass and turn because we need a little more movement. Yep, so they're gonna shuffle, but they're not gonna shuffle another time. And I'm gonna, speaking of playing it safe, I'm gonna use both orders this time. I don't know why, but I tend to in marathon runs get really
This
bad
is an order.
HP for the scary part coming up. So I've
Brace up.
decided
Get ready
just
to
to
defend yourself.
always do this the safe way. So we're gonna use defense piece and caution. We usually just use caution for this though.
This is an order.
Yeah, sometimes you can, I think it's
Advance
possible
with
to get
caution.
away without
Stay
any
sharp.
orders, but you have to get lucky and get a Valkyria activation. And not
My
die,
turn, okay?
obviously.
Yeah. I wonder, that would be like a thing probably on Switch, because the upcoming
Enemy unit spotted.
turrets, they don't do much on
Enemy
Switch.
unit
Proceed with
spotted.
caution.
Alright, so I have to avoid a cutscene trigger here. Hopefully I did it.
Enemy sighted.
Alright, nice.
Yeah, you basically have to stop before the cutscene trigger,
Moving out.
and that will, I think you have to be behind those break things, and then, yeah, you won't activate the cutscene.
Alright, and yeah, since I use both orders, as you can see, I'm taking like no damage. And the goal is to open these 3 gates, so one more. Alright, I got it. Third one, now a train's gonna run through.
Yeah, basically it's like Macbeth from Star Fox 64. If you've ever played that mission.
Yep, I played the game recently, but that wasn't on the path I took, sadly.
It's pretty cool when you get it. just saying.
Alright. Anyway, 15-2. This is the quickest mission in the game for the enemy, or I mean our turn. We're gonna
Yeah,
face
so-
the one, yeah.
It's pretty funny what you're meant to do casually. You're meant to like try and get your snipers at the top and do a sniper relay between both the characters because Silvara
Take
will
out their
dodge no
commander
matter
and
what
claim
in the
Gear
front.
Lendio. Squad 7, move out.
So yeah, you have to make sure she has her back turned towards the sniper. You just like keep on going back and forth. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use our smoke round to
Here we go.
our advantage. And basically we're going to go in and out of the smoke round, and yeah, shoot the Silvaria.
Yep. So you can't see through the smoke.
Leave it to me.
And we're gonna try to do this with a 1 cycle with no orders. But with no orders, it's pretty hard to get. I'm gonna aim it to her shoulder. Alright. Nice damage for the first round. A little
Yeah, that sounds
unfortunate.
like a lot of damage.
We got the third text box. That
Way
happens if
ahead
you
of
do
ya.
more than half. It's not a big deal. Alright, we got a 2 cycle. That's pretty normal for no attack waste.
Yeah, if you do attack boost, it's pretty easy to get the 1 cycle, but doing the auto itself wastes time.
Yeah. So no attack boost, sadly. Although we got to use attack boost in 11, so we still got to use it. Alright, I almost forgot that there's one of the asterisk cutscenes here. Alright, we're good though.
Yeah,
Time
they're
for
pretty
chapter
sneaky.
16. There's also one in 17, and a few in 18 actually.
There's a lot in 18, I think.
Alright, time for chapter 16. This is gonna be a really long auto-scroller while we run from the Marmoda.
We have to divert that monster away from
Yeah,
the
so
capital.
the Marmoda is
Squad
like
7,
a
move
giant tank slash battleship, whatever you want to call it. And it's basically Maximilian's ultimate weapon. And he wants to drive it through the capital, so what we're trying to do here is create a
Entering
diversion
combat.
and lead this giant battleship to an area where the militia can shoot them. Also, basically the Gallian army is like all dead because Zavara used her final flame and basically killed the entire army, so only the militia is left.
Right, that happened. Yeah.
Yep, that happened. Yep.
'Cause I think like the general captures Salaria, brings her to the base to base up. Right.
Yeah.
And anyway, Zaka died, but it's no big deal. He's a story man.
He's got plot armor, the best armor.
Alright, now we get to go and have the big Falcon part, where he can miss.
Here we go.
Yeah,
So
we really
the radiators. Or no, rag crates. I know.
Yeah.
God.
it's fine.
Keep an eye on your rear.
Alright. Alright, we got the easy one.
Fire!
I'm tempted to save before
Gotta
I
love
even
nature.
start. I don't know. Sometimes this has been mean to me in marathon runs.
Here we go.
So I'm gonna move like here, and we're gonna shoot another crate.
Enemy sighted.
Oh, okay. Guess we can do that too.
Did you land it? Yeah.
Yeah. I sound so nervous for some reason, but alright, we're good. Anyway,
Entering
we're ending
combat.
in smoke because that means the enemy can't see us. And because Zaka died, there's no enemy that can see us.
And yeah, you don't want the enemies to see us, otherwise they're pretty indecisive, and also there's a Lancer that we don't want the Lancer to see us. But yeah, we have to shoot those down, otherwise we lose the mission to get the rock slide to activate.
Yeah, and there's gonna be mortars every turn.
But we don't care about them.
Yep. And then after everything's done, you pass Maximilian and you can't skip this. I actually thought I'd try to hit the option button and see if something happened. That's not gonna change, obviously. So yeah, now they just explained the stuff that we explained.
Yeah, now the rest of the mission is pretty much an auto-scroller, unless we like... Oh, no, maybe not. I spoke too early.
Entering combat.
Well, first we have to go and
Yeah,
do something.
we have to go through the minefield and get through the gates.
Alright. Yeah, and it's slightly faster in animations to use the anti-tank rounds, but it's also riskier because it can miss.
I wish you good luck.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to go through the minefield with the tank and not hit the anti-tank mines.
Yeah. So now we're just gonna end in smoke. We do get at least one
Minor damage
red
sustained.
tip.
It's not an
That's
Yeah.
sad.
It's okay to get hit by one mine, but getting hit by multiple anti-tank mines is really bad.
Oh, we have a tree. Sometimes you lose a little time because of a tree.
Right, yeah. I mean, we can't really control that though. It's, the game decides.
More murders.
But yeah, I think that's the
Here
turn
we
where you
go.
have to get that landslide
Enemy
to activate
sighted.
there, otherwise you just lose the mission.
Now.
Yeah.
Have to get my
Alright.
turn 4.
Got good luck for welcome so far.
Yeah. I should mention with this mission, because there's no bases, whoever you
Gotta love
deploy,
nature.
you better hope they stay alive if they
Entering
are
combat.
not main characters. Because
Gotta
yeah,
love nature.
there's no
Fire!
base and they just die. So it's a good
Yeah.
thing to know casually.
Landslides are
The sheer
scary
size of
too.
it.
We're gonna make another landslide next turn though.
Yeah, ideally we don't want it to fall on Welkin.
Yeah. He would die. Although you can still, what's funny is your tank can still move past the landslides. A little tricky though. I honestly didn't know that for a while. I thought they blocked units off from entirely. The only thing they're trying to block though is the remote. Which I'm kind of confused as to how it works, but it's okay. They work and that's all that matters.
Entering combat.
Alright, so there's more rag crates. So one,
The sheer size of
and
it.
there's one more, and Welcome can miss this. It's pretty unlikely though.
Preparing to take action.
Had really silly things happen where I hit the tree instead of the the crate.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's really bad when that happens.
Fire.
I had something. This is like one of the things I remember in VC4. When I was launching a smoke round, I would launch it on top of the flagpole instead of in the base.
Oh, and the smoke is above
Yeah,
the
this
ground.
is
Yeah.
above. Oh, it doesn't cover the base actually. It covers above those. Anyway, yeah, we got to the position. Now we're just gonna wait for the Marauder. Cause yeah. No enemies can see us. In fact, the only enemy left that could potentially see us is that shock trooper, and the Marauder's gonna run them over. For now, we just get to see bunts of mortars and Marauder cutscenes until I think it's turn 7 or 8. I get confused on it. I think it's 8 we win, but it's 7 that we end on. I usually just look at my timer to figure out where I am. But yeah, this is the best part of the cutscene. It has eyes and a nose on it, and you get to look at it for a long time.
It's meant to be intimidating, but it ends up just being funny.
Yeah. Alright, last cutscene. And in the next couple missions, there's gonna be 3 more left. 2 of them are fast. 1 of them could be fast, but we're gonna do it a slow way. Alright. Time for the late game missions. And they're gonna... There's no more capturing the flag, sadly. Instead, we go and fight boss fights. Also, the one nice thing is boss fights, at least in this run, they can't dodge. That would be really bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so time for 17.
Yeah, so this mission is a, so this is like a similar map to Chapter 4, but we're starting in a different spot. and we just need a shock trooper just to take down this tank.
Our target is Jaeger's tank.
I always find it
Stay
funny
sharp,
when he
Sevens.
says sevens
Squad
twice.
7, move out.
Yeah, 'cause that's the name where we're Squad 7. And yeah, this is the tank that was in Chapter 5, but we couldn't really get a good view on it.
This is an order. Destroying the target is your top priority.
Alright, so we're gonna use our boss killing order we used in 14. And we're gonna use demo
This is
and
an order.
penetration. Now we
Aim
get to
for
run
when
through the
protection is
arch
weakest.
lane. For a long time, that was the only way I could remember this, because the movement's actually deceptively tight for this.
Yeah, it is.
I see an enemy.
I agree with that.
I see an enemy.
Be careful. Enemy backup may be underway.
And yeah, there's the tank. First, we want to get to the tank. Then we're gonna have 3 actions to shoot
I can
it.
do that. Found an enemy. I see an enemy.
That's good help when using this up. But I don't want to mess up.
I can do that.
Alright, we're good. So first we have to destroy the armor. So that's gonna be the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, the armor should take 2 rounds to take out, and then the body takes out
Roger
is
that.
1 round.
Yep, so we're gonna move the cursor up the teeny bits. And then take out the armor body. We didn't get a victory animation, because you actually can get 1 for the armor. But we got lucky.
Roger that.
And that's chapter 17. It's a pretty quick chapter.
Yep. Alright. So next, we're on to the final chapter, but this one has 2 missions. And then before even the missions, we have a bunch of cutscenes to skip.
Yeah, there's like a whole page worth of cutscenes. And we're just like, yeah, we don't care about plot, we're just gonna get for it. But
Yeah, I think what
basically,
happened- you're
basically, yeah, sorry. But yeah, Maximilian's just broken into the city, and we need to stop it. Basically, that's the gist of the plot.
Alright. I think, like, yeah, we ended up failing in chapter 16. We didn't actually stop Maximilian. He seceded anyway. Thank goodness I remember. This is a little different than the world record strat, but that strat is not marathon safe.
Our target is
So
the
we're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
do
we're-
one of those.
Sink it at all costs.
We're not doing the 1 turn here,
Squad
right?
7,
Yeah,
Yeah.
move out.
yeah.
Unless I want to go for a 10% chance for
Yeah.
one time. I think that's not a good idea.
No.
Alright, so instead we're gonna go and do the cutscene watching. And like was mentioned earlier, this was one of the big reasons it was thought the PC was faster.
Here we go.
Yeah, because we have to sit through.
Fire.
So after Alexis finishes this turn, we have to sit through a pretty long enemy turn, and it was the main reason why we thought the PC version was faster, because the enemy turn goes significantly faster on PC than it does on console.
Here we go.
But yeah,
Now.
but it's only for this particular mission that it really matters
Give it
the
all
enemy
you got,
turn.
soldiers.
Yeah, because enemy turn is really long. So yep, here we go. They're gonna have every single unit shuffle until they have 1 CP, then they'll stop. Thankfully, when we get done this, the actual strat is pretty quick.
If you do get a bit unlucky, the Lancer can spot you even in the smoke, but I think Alexis is in a pretty good position where she won't get
Yeah.
spotted.
Well, no, in a few actions, it's the Lancer right now.
Yeah.
They also stopped right before our base. They moved a teeny bit forward, we'd get a game over.
And they still have command points too to move. They could have just won, but they didn't. They elected not to win.
Yeah, the AI in this can be strange. Alright, anyway. All done with the enemy turn. We're probably about 10 minutes or so ahead of estimate. Like, so 1:55-ish. Depends on how the final mission
Aim
goes.
for where their protection is
Because I can
weakest.
get stuck in, like, safe loading if we get unlucky.
Oh, I didn't see the the question from chat. It's like, oh, okay.
This is an
that's-
order.
that's
Yeah.
where it comes from. Okay, yeah.
Destroying the target is your top priority.
Yeah, I'm gonna be, like, super safe
that.
in 18-2 with the sniping, because when every single practice run I did, I would save for the first shot, get it, then not save again and miss the second shot. So I'm gonna be saving twice. That is the best thing to do. I'm also gonna be taking this save, because I tend to get bad luck with double kill.
Anyway, yeah. Hopefully we get the Ray A double kill here. That'd be pretty sick.
I'm too scared because every time I've been doing it, I like miss, and then I miss out of CP.
Enemy unit neutralized.
Yeah. Okay. That's unfortunate. Oh well.
Oh, we have middle
Roger
head
that.
in a position where we never would have been able to use it.
Right.
Alright, anyway, yeah, so first we need to destroy the,
So, and during that time where it happened, yeah, Metalhead activated, and Metalhead's just it buffs Kevin's attack, and it's really useful for taking out the lance. But too bad that it activated
Your
the turn
orders,
too
sir?
early.
yeah. So yeah, now we can go and take out the, actual boss, which is the
Roger
big
that.
lance. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna shoot this 3 times.
Yeah, when we had to shoot at the tip because if we shoot at like the body of the lance, it wouldn't do any damage.
Roger
Yeah,
that.
so like the Chloe part. Alright, one more round, and we're gonna be on the final mission.
I can do that.
Alrighty. So now the lance is destroyed, although we're not gonna see it destroyed until next session. We're gonna skip one cutscene, and this is the final map. We're gonna fight Maximilian, who is now a Valkyria.
Well, more specifically, he's an artificial Valkyria. So there's 3 towers, and each turn they are random. But fortunately, we're going to be taking him out on the first turn, so we kind of don't really care about the other formations they could possibly be in.
Oh yeah, because those are really hard, some of them.
Yeah. So it's pretty fortunate that we don't have to care
This is our
about
final operation.
the,
Let's end this war.
the formation on the first turn,
Squad
which is always
7,
set,
move out.
fortunately.
Yep, and it's a really convenient one, except for the one that's at the very end of the map.
Yeah, that's why we have a sniper.
Yep, we're gonna use them for the first and only time to run. There's the lance. This is random, and it matters in New Game Plus, but in this category, it's just the cutscene.
Yeah, it's basically where the debris lands in random places on the map.
This is an order. Aim for where their protection is weakest. I'll handle
Alright, so we're gonna use our penetration shock trooper to destroy all the towers.
How about that?
I'm impressed.
So we're gonna wait a little bit because Maximilian will kill us otherwise. And
All units, watch
then we're gonna do
your
a
front.
team attack because we don't have penetration on Kevin. We're gonna avoid
Roger that.
Maximilian. And then we're gonna do a team attack. So we're gonna wait a little bit because Maximilian will kill us otherwise. And then we're gonna do a team attack because we don't have Maximilian on Kevin. We're gonna avoid Maximilian. And we're gonna do. This is the first team attack we do in the run.
Yeah, we basically have another teammate help us, provided we're at a decent distance close to them.
That would not be good. That was really scary. But we turned out okay.
Yeah.
And messed it up. But alright, anyway, we're gonna safety save. Because now we have to use the sniper.
And despite being one of the most accurate units,
Roger.
they can still miss.
And they missed. Good job.
Of course.
Goodbye.
Well, that is why we safety save here. But since we do have the upgraded weapon, we actually technically,
Leave the back up to me.
with this, we could get penetration. And I'm going to, as I mentioned, I'm going to safety save again. Because the sniper can miss. And then we won't have CP for the kill.
Also, I should mention, like, time should be when Maximilian's health hits 0. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
we'll be there eventually.
It's so painful when you see snipers miss.
That's why we safety save the second
Yeah.
time.
Roger.
Because I don't trust the snipers. Alright, so the few safety saves, we managed to get past the sniping.
I'm not done yet.
And now we're gonna do the final kill. So we're gonna use the Shamrock again, because the Gatling gun does
Way
a lot
ahead
of
of ya.
damage.
I also heard Capron scream because, yeah, you can knock your other allied units out of the way.
Alright. Yeah, time is coming up pretty soon. So what I'm gonna do
And
is
also-
I'm gonna use one more order.
Just to mention on the first phase, you don't want to overdamage
This is an
Maximilian, otherwise he goes immediately to his second phase and
I
goes
want
to
you
the
to
back
fire
of the map.
every bullet you've got.
Just in case. We'll safety save. We're in no rush. Because technically, this is like the T-Mag 10 kill. So there's a small chance we won't get it.
Leave it to me.
Alright, so time is if Maximilian is dead time. We got it.
Nice. Yeah, so that is Valkyria Chronicles 1. If you have any interest in
25th day of
speedrunning Valkyria Chronicles, we do have a
1935.
Discord and a speedrun.com page.
The death of Maximilian,
You can run
commander
any
of the
game in the
Empire's
series,
invasion of Galia, paved the way
including
for
the one that
truce
shall not be
between the two
named.
nations.
Yep. And I made a
For
guide
seven
recently
tumultuous
for
months at war,
BC1,
Galians
which is pretty
everywhere
up to
look
date.
forward to a time of
So
hard-won
it's
peace.
anyone wants to learn this game, we have a new guide for it.
Squad
And the
7
other
of the
ones have
Galian
some
militia
guides as
disbanded
well.
shortly after the conflict's conclusion. And its members began to move on, each following
Sorry.
his or her own path.
I find them
And
saying
here,
his or her
at
really
the end
funny.
of their long struggle, I lay my pen to rest.
Oh, dang it, you had to name it.
I decided people should know. Yeah, that one. It's not that fun.
So yeah, we both hope that you enjoyed this run. It's pretty
Yep.
fun
Thanks for
and pretty
having
silly
me.
at times.
It was fun to do as well.
That's good to hear.
systems go?
Flippy here. I'm okay.
Falco here. I'm fine.
A bomb has been planted at the base.
Be careful, it's a trap. Can anyone take care of it?
Can't let you do that, Star Fox.
Here they come!